US President Donald Trump has taken a major U-turn on India. Recently on social media, he has been very positive, and this time there was a phone call too. Trump called Modi on his 75th birthday. It was more than a birthday wish. He posted on Truth Social, and I quote from it, "Just had a wonderful call with my friend Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I wished him a very happy birthday. He is doing a tremendous job. Narendra, thank you for your support on ending the war between Russia and Ukraine." Yes, that's what he said. And you see, this is the same man who first called India a dead economy. Then he said that it is fueling the Russia-Ukraine war. Then he imposed secondary sanctions on India on top of his reciprocal tariffs and stalled the trade talks with who he called friend. Now he is appreciating the same country for its efforts to bring peace. Later, in a joint presser with the United Kingdom's Prime Minister, he said again that he is very close to India and to Modi. Well, Prime Minister Modi also replied to Trump's birthday wishes. He too called Trump his friend. He said that he is fully committed to bring India-US comprehensive and global partnership to new heights, adding that we support your initiative towards a peaceful resolution of the Ukraine conflict. So why is this U-turn coming at this time? Well, there was no other option though. Because India resisted, it did not bow down to Trump's tariffs. In fact, Modi had insisted Indians to buy Make in India goods to boost domestic consumption and in-house manufacturing as high tariff tensions with US persisted. And why would India bow down too? Because look at the numbers. India's exports on a year-on-year basis had grown 6.7% in August to $35.1 billion despite Trump's tariffs. It was a second straight monthly raise too. The trade deficit also eased to $26.49 billion from July's $27.35 billion as firms front-loaded shipments. Meanwhile, India's exports to US declined 14% month-on-month. So tariffs are backfiring. US inflation is fueled by tariffs well above Fed's target. Fed just reduced interest rates, citing weakness in job market. The US economy is at a stressful point, balancing between high inflation and unemployment. So trade talks have resumed now. This week, US officials were in India to discuss a trade deal, and this time the demands were different. The deal halted because US's demand for India was to open up its dairy and agriculture sector. However, now senior officials reportedly have said that US does not need complete entry into India's dairy market. It now focuses on selling premium cheese to India, including blue vein and artisanal and powdered cheese. In agriculture too, US has changed tack. This week, US Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick slammed India, saying that it has 1.4 billion people, but why would they not buy US corn? US is the world's largest producer and exporter of corn, so US wants to sell it to India because it is a vast market. Another reason is that granaries in US are overflowing with unsold soybeans and corn, and low crop prices have squeezed US agricultural sector. Small farmers are now affected, and there is all of this happening because of Trump's trade war. China is the biggest buyer of US soybean, but it has not signed a single cargo from this year's soybean harvest and has turned to Brazil instead for soybean and corn. But it's a challenge for India to buy these corn and soybeans. Most of US corn is GM or genetically modified, and India neither permits import or planting of GM corn due to health and economic concerns. It is also an electoral headache for Modi government as Bihar elections are coming up. And Bihar, remember, is the third largest maize producer in India. So it's still tricky. But this time a deal may be on the cards is what officials are now indicating. Meanwhile, the secondary sanctions are still there and India is not backing down. It's purchasing more Russian oil instead because now it is even more cheaper. Till now, in September alone, India bought 173 million barrels per day of Russian oil. It's only increased from the last month, and India-Russia ties are also strong. So while India is resisting because clearly it feels bullied, Trump has to now make concessions. Just flattery will not sway away New Delhi. For starters, roll back the 55% secondary sanctions and talk trade. That's two-way and not just to US benefit like the other deals with other countries, because India is one of the most important allies for the US too. But what comes next, we'll see to that.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.